Do it again. Hello guys. We're not doing in and out.
Nope. Oh, why haven't you removed that?
I really just wanted to record you going.
Okay.
Okay.
We are tangible daying up in this bush. Today is the hottest day. Last night was the hottest day on record. Right? 25 degrees. It didn't go below at night. 25. Did you hear me? You're not reacting. Did you hear me?
Hello?
Did you hear what I said?
It didn't go below what?
25 degrees in the night.
Wow.
Mad. I couldn't sleep. Did I tell you? I woke up at 8, but I couldn't sleep till like 3. Then I kept waking up in the night. Did you wake up? I'm good though. Look how much energy I've got.
Yeah, how are you so energized? Hey! So, we were going through a very educational thing from a guy called Chomsky, but we decided...
We didn't decide anything. I left the notes on my mum's house.
I was trying to cover for you.
I'm trying to be transparent with the people.
And transparency is key
Key.
to illuminating the ideas in our minds and in our art. So let's go. Ooh.
What?
The way you were jiggling.
My money don't jiggle jiggle.
E-force.
I like to see you wiggle wiggle.
For sure.
Was that Japanese? What actor was that?
I don't know. I thought it was like a little bit of Asian. I'm not gonna lie.
It was Asian Japanese.
No, not that guy.
Yo, Asia's massive, bro.
Colin Japanese. I think he's Colin Japanese. I really think so. I haven't eaten yet. So if I crash out.
You're not going to crash anywhere. Okay, should we bring this closer to us? We're using the old microphone. You're not at all in the shot.
Hang on. If we're using this, we can use the clip on.
Yes, we can.
Because we're not using the audio.
Let's. That's better. Much better.
Because this thing is so finicky.
And it sucks.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is Road, okay? Road versus Raid.
Huh? What?
Don't worry about it.
What did you say?
Listen. The thing about me, you know.
Oh my god. Tate roasts ugly fat feminist for disrespecting his fighting career. Yo, there's absolutely no need.
You don't know that. You don't know what she said. She might as well deserved it.
Does anyone ever deserve that? Doesn't it say more about you than it does about the person who said it? You will never elevate people by sinking to their level by it.
Why are you coming out here, mate?
Can we just clip the clip?
Clip, clip, clip. Clip this wonderful clip.
Check. I'll do the tap.
There we go.
But last time it says that even if it's the wrong way, let me do the tap. Yeah. Can we watch that video next? There's no need.
Alright.
Here? So the clip is called Andrew Tate brutally reality checked Western women from It's from the Fit and Fresh podcast with Fit and Fresh dudes.
Why am I like this? Eh?
You plugged
My
it?
brain cells are not functioning in this heat.
It's not this.
It's this one.
I'm gonna move this.
Okay.
Give us some room.
Yes.
Give me some room.
Okay, you. Okay, so is it Tate and what?
Yalla.
Why do we start so fast? Andrew.
What you mean full bodied?
I mean, bone is for dog and meat is for man.
A tata. A tata.
That's what it is. It's an egg tartar.
Brutally. That reminds me of that video with the guy. I don't want to say it on YouTube. It's going to get spammed.
Okay.
Reality checks. Western women.
Carry a child.
Woman.
Let me hear your ma. Ma.
Let me eat your Oh, yeah. We should have bought some yesterday.
I always have Buddhist.
We did buy no duck, hoisin duck.
Who's that?
Oh, yeah. Answer. Is he watching?
Are you watching us live stream it? How dare you? What do you want, lads?
Is he watching? Are you watching us live stream?
Mm-hmm. You're live on air.
Oh yeah, you're not even plugged in.
Fumes engineer.
What's it called? White male?
Creative Mayo.
White male? You're a Mazzoline, you know.
Yo, there's no live thing right now.
What? Really?
Yo guys, there's nothing live.
Yeah, there is. It's live for. It's been live for 7 minutes.
Live thing doesn't come up. How much is that? Oh, here we go. 1 second.
Are you watching?
Just checking what it is.
Whoever's not watching this live, forward it like 5-10 minutes because Seconda's on the phone.
It'd be crazy if like. Wait, so can someone wait?
There's quite a big delay though.
There's legit. There's like maybe a 20-30 second delay.
Yeah, so we can make the
It's a
delay
minute
less.
delay.
We can make the delay less, up to 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But then the quality is reduced.
Yeah. Alright, cool. But I was gonna say, are you coming? Are you gonna be there?
It depends. It depends if I can get there, dude.
In a car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think Sammy's car is full. So I can ask. So basically, you're coming here so we can find the car for you.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, very good. Okay, let me see if I can sort something out.
Very good, very nice.
Alright, in a bit.
Bye.
Mario Khan brutally reality checks Western patterns.
Carrying a child for 9 months.
If you're not gonna sorry, if you're not gonna have children, what are you gonna do with your lives?
That's the starting point.
Well, the starting point. So the problem here is we don't know any of these women's names.
No, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because women don't deserve identity.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm getting delirious with this lack of food and
She
heat.
caught the end of the woman's little nugget, but it's actually about him. I guess he's going to be talking for the most part. So I really don't think we need that today, do we?
Shall we unplug it then?
Do you want to check if it does something?
Do you want to be the one to challenge the West?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. It really doesn't do much.
Yeah, so
Which one
plug
is
it.
it? Left,
Just keep
right,
going
middle,
until
right?
I think it's the one with the thick cable, not the super thick, but the middly thick. There we go, perfect.
Oh. Okay.
Brutally reality checks, my
So he said
man.
if you're not going to have children, what are you going to do with your life?
Okay. So, should we put it on here so I don't hug?
Yeah.
Yeah, sharing is caring and that.
Problem shared, problem halved.
My shared reality is
Western women.
null it out, bro. Null it out. I need to get a little bit of time to get into it.
If you're not gonna, sorry, my headphones fell off. If you're not gonna have, if you're not gonna have children, what are you gonna do with your life?
Okay. So,
He starts with that question. Why is it so thin? How about you write with your left hand?
okay, mom.
The sun's making you delirious, huh?
Yeah.
Guys, it's 38 degrees here today.
Shiragi?
Do you want me to do it?
Let me get at least the question out.
Okay. So write Q. Have kids.
What's the point?
What are you going to do with your life?
Ah.
I'm not gonna have children. Travel. Just pursue anything that makes me happy. Try to make money.
So, one woman. So it's woman A. Whose name we unfortunately don't know. Is that right? Woman A. Because different people are going to have different takes, right?
Traveling, so I would probably just
Drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
So his rebuttal is quite reductive. Right? He says drink cocktails. He
he's not really answering. He's just saying next. It's a non-thing. It's like making a joke, basically.
He's
trivializing.
Trivializing.
About the same thing, like travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like my
travel
career
money.
will become my baby. What about
So
Same. Travel.
career.
Travel
Add
make
career.
money.
What
Doesn't make
careers?
money.
No. Yeah.
you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. But I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting and shit like that.
Miss Cuba, what about you?
Do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just my career.
Your career.
I'm
Okay.
passionate about it, so
A life without children is vapious.
So he says.
So.
Well, he didn't say that. He didn't say life is important.
Can I just?
Because this is the straight line.
This is why we had 2 papers last time, alright? So you can do it properly, and I can do it fast.
This isn't fast. First of all, you added something to it that wasn't there. If you wanted to do it fast, you would have done it in the absence of the thing that wasn't there.
Listen, okay? I am lit off the sun right now, okay?
It's a name and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is
Matters.
your job will fire you out and you don't get the same.
All of a sudden, he sounds like a West Country farmer. Matters.
Matters.
A life without children is vacuous. And it's a name and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you out and you don't get the same. You don't get a solitary shift. And when you're 52 and you're past it, with no grandchildren, in a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren.
No. Well, what he likes to do is, so we have a thing called narratives, and a narrative is basically a sequenced experience, and he has a bunch of these narratives that bang in his head or bang to his audience, and he just there's some stimulus. And then he kind of answers it, and then he bang goes to a narrative, and then that narrative then leads to another narrative, and another, and you can just talk, going on these kind of like one girl said philosophical rants, and right now he's going off on a narrative. He's saying when you're 50 whatever and you're past it, if you're a doctor, you're not past it at 50.
Definitely.
If you're making VR for the military, you're not past it at 50. So he's just talking about girls doing OnlyFans right now, which is, I guess, an easier target than someone who cares about their career where their career isn't SW.
Okay, so what are we going to write down?
Because
life without
he's
children
not,
is vacuous.
So
and then has he said anything?
So I guess he's addressing this point, right? Which is your employer will fire you. At a moment's notice. Low security. Low value. Like low, not value, but like you're not valued. Like you're not valued like a child will value you. Like low respect or low importance.
Yep.
We can do this all again. It's only 3 minutes.
So then he says something about. So what are we going to write about? You're out of it or you're past it.
Bless you. Oh, you got baby hairs.
I got bad baby hairs, bro. I got baby hairs galore. They like stick up like this most days. Okay, you get to 50, so the then narrative kicks in. You're 50, past it, no grandchildren. Let's see what he says now.
In a house by yourself, and all your friends have grandchildren. This beautiful life.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah, right. Beautiful life.
Oh my god, he just went into my mouth.
What?
Guys, I'm so disgusting. Yo, the perks of hay fever, man.
Come on, take one of these, mate.
Thank you. I offer me drugs. No, you're giving him too much credit. Why don't you write that he's perpetuating a narrative?
If you want to fight me right now,
bro,
I'm too weak and I will lose. So please go easy on me.
No, why don't see the value of doing this?
Listen, bro. My brain's like spaghetti. Can we just do it one time, the one pass?
All right, you
And
do
then-
this
and then
first, and then I
you
go.
do you,
All right,
and then
all
we'll
right,
bring it together,
all right.
and then we will create something that is both a career and a family. So Tate will be satisfied. He will have a declining.
Do you know what would be
career.
interesting?
Others will have.
If we take clips that they all say another take W too, we analyze them like this and we put them out on TikTok and ask the take bros, are we right? Like, is this what he said, or have we missed something? Because and explain to them what we're trying to do, because we actually do want to do that. I don't want to expose him or anything. I don't care about the man, right? If they want to follow him, that's their conversation with God, right?
Oh, you went there.
But you're right about the narratives. It's interesting. Once you notice that, it's difficult to not see that happening. But the woman in the back's like, yeah, she's
So
right.
true. Daddy.
I'm surprised that are we being misogynistic?
Oh, well, depends what you're about to say.
That fucking slut.
Van.
No.
No.
You wouldn't get what? It's YouTube, mate. Slut shaming. Promoted. I'm surprised that one wants to be a doctor and the other one wants to create VR simulations for the military. Aren't you? Because I thought the girls that they bring on their show are...
So here's the thing, bro. When I was in primary school, a lot of people wanted to be footballers. A lot of, some people even said astronaut.
Mm-hmm. Too much.
And then the further you go into, the older you get, the more realistic your wants in a career become.
Mm-hmm.
These women aren't really women, they're girls, bro. And so I would say that they're doing a 2-2 thing that men and women do, and it's called adding a little sugar.
Adding a bit of masala.
No, it makes it spicy. They're adding
No.
like a little bit of like glazing.
Okay, to make it look shiny.
Because when you're in front of this guy, you want to put this facade of something that is proper, right? Because you don't want to be, like SW is notoriously a challenging field that has a quite a short lifespan compared to most careers. And if you compare that to like football, it's the same thing. Like you kind of have to stop in your 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these jobs, it's quite easy to criticize because they're short term, they're unstable compared to other career paths. So if you say something like doctor, that's one of the most stable career paths you can possibly have. And if she does become a doctor, and I hope she takes great care of her patients and saves many lives, But that would be my strategy if I was in their position.
Okay.
I'm a younger woman.
I get
I'm
so they're
in Miami.
defensive.
You know what I mean? So I'm already a bit
Okay.
YOLO-y. When I was 20, whatever, I was already YOLO-y.
Well, some of them might literally be from Miami.
Oh.
People come from Miami. You know what I mean? Not everyone in Miami is just like. Otherwise, it would be such an unstable city. But there are legit people that live there. A lot of Cubans.
Cuba.
Which they called her Miss Cuba, so she might be an incumbent. Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe they are like that. But just why would you be on a show like that?
To nothing. No, but maybe because when I see this, I'm like, why do they constantly get girls who
they despise in a way?
They hate, they shit on them, and those girls don't really fight back.
Yeah.
Or when they do fight back, they get really aggressive. Okay.
This should be neutral-ish.
Well, I'm trying to be neutral. That's why I wanted to write down what he said. But you do whatever you've been doing.
Sitting there by yourself, you think the fact that you could afford a few extra Gucci bags is going to genuinely make you feel happy? I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday.
Nice, this one.
I looked there. My grandmother had 9 children. It was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids, blah, blah, blah. I stood there, I looked at my 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a whole room full of maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable? That nobody cared about her career. Nobody asked what job she did. Nobody asked how many times she went to the club. Nobody asked if she had time to go to festivals. No. You had 77 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother and a good wife. That is beautiful. And if you sit here and genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your fertile years and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal alone with a cat, then you're dumb. The happiest women on earth have children and a man who's paying the bills and their mothers. The happiest people on earth. I guarantee it. Your mothers, ask your own mother, do you regret having me? She's going to say, of course not. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. So now you're going to sit here and you're going to end your own bloodline? All your ancestors were out there surrounded by saber-toothed fucking tigers trying to survive on the streets out there in caveman days.
Your Lord.
It's funny, man.
You're gonna end your own bloodline?
Surrounded by saber-toothed fucking tigers trying to survive on the streets out there in caveman days just to get to the final end where we have all the medical care and you can live in a nice warm house for your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids. I'm too busy in the fucking strip club or going to fucking Mallorca to have a pina colada on the beach. It's absolutely insulting to your entire bloodline. Everything everyone above you has ever done and struggled for. All the times your grandparents went to work.
I just want to know, why is he always shouting?
He's always shouting, dude. He's
Why is he always shouting,
shouting.
man? I feel like that's part of his skis, his little thing that he does.
People love passion, though.
When I saw this on TikTok, it said stuff like all the women in that room questioning all their life decisions. And I feel like not a single person is questioning their life decisions in this room. That woman looks like she's asleep. That woman's absolutely disgusting. That woman was nodding.
Yeah.
She's the one that was like standing in.
But they didn't feel like it, just for you to exist, for your selfish ass to say no. Me and my passions and my dreams and my shit drawings and my Instagram page is worth more than ever having children. You're selfish, fuck that, you should all have kids.
Carry a child.
Sorry.
And a man who's paid it. That is beautiful. Hope she did. Nobody genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your fertile years and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal alone with a cat. Then you're dumb. The happiest women on earth have children and a man who's paying the bills and their mothers. The happiest people on earth. I guarantee it. Your mothers, ask your own mother, do you regret having me? She's going to say, of course not. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. So now you're going to sit here and you're going to end your... bloodline. All your ancestors were out there in caveman days just to get to the final end where we have all the medical care and you can live in a nice warm house for your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids. I'm too busy in the fucking strip club or going to fucking Mallorca to have a pina colada on the beach. It's absolutely insulting to your entire bloodline. Everything everyone above you has ever done and struggled for. All the times your grandparents went to work but they didn't feel like it, just for you to exist, for your selfish ass to say no. Me and my passions and my dreams and my shit drawings and my Instagram page is worth more than ever having children. You're a selfish fuck. Fuck that, you should all have kids.
Okay, we got to the end, okay.
Yeah, that was the end.
Okay.
Child.
So you want to do it again?
Yeah.
I was starting to get into it more. Like into the flow of things. We have different things, like this means leads to.
In the claim.
If we put a box that's coloured in,
A line
at the end,
is
that's claim.
connected to or linked.
That's a claim. A line is connected to. This is.
What was the two lines?
This is change. I think it's just change.
Is that change?
Yeah, if it's filled in. Yeah, there's two lines as well. I can't remember what the two lines is. All right.
If you're not gonna, sorry, my headphones fell off. If you're not gonna have,
Can you turn them down a bit,
if
please?
you're not gonna have children, what are you gonna do with your life?
So we start in the same way. Because he's speaking to women.
Can you just do a slash after the W? Thank you.
I'm not gonna have children. Travel.
So then, woman, they
Wah.
said, oh god, sorry. Check. Agree. So it's just that one time?
Yeah, maybe because it's recording instead of streaming.
Maybe. Travel. Make them money.
And then the other three said career.
Yeah. Women B, C, and D. Career.
Do anything that makes me happy. Try to make money.
Oh, she just said pursue things that make me happy. I didn't get that last time.
Do anything that makes me happy. Try to make money. I love traveling, so I would probably just
Drink cocktails on the beach. Okay, next.
About the same thing, travel, focus on my career, things like that. Like my career will become my baby.
What about you?
I honestly just want to get right into my career.
Okay. What do you want to do in life?
Right now, so I go to the University of Miami. I'm majoring in interactive media. What I want to do with that is build virtual reality simulators for the military. But I'm also minoring in motion pictures. I'm interested in acting right now.
Miss Cuba, what about you?
Minoring in motion pictures, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Well, I plan on becoming a doctor. So I'm just my career. I'm passionate about it, so
A life without children is vacuous.
What the hell?
Are you waiting for? Can you dot your I's, please? Cross your T's. Vapios.
So that's...
The angle of your text is how I feel inside. So you're saying a claim.
Yeah. He's made a claim that a life without children is vaporous.
But it's not linked to that. Oh, career. Oh, interesting. Okay, I see you.
And it's a name and it's pointless. And you may sit here and think that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you out.
Another claim. Job will fire you. What?
Yo, heat stroke's a serious condition, and I'm struggling from it right now.
Don't get a second. Don't get a second.
Right.
Whenever
Got the
they
ad
reach-
libs. Always nice when you got someone giving ad libs. Tell them. Say what?
And when you're 52 and you're
And then the narrative kicks in.
So how do you want to visualize the whole narratives? Because narratives are a beautiful creation of ours.
I think that could be like a drawing. Because it's a narrative. That's how I imagine a narrative. Like a
Picture.
well, more a video, like an animation. Where it's like a person who's 52 sitting on a sofa and looking out of the window or something and seeing all of their friends happy, or scrolling through Instagram and seeing pictures of all their
Stroking their cat.
yeah, exactly, miserable.
Sorry.
My stomach's rumbling. So narrative.
with no grandchildren. Don't get so that your career matters, but the truth is that your job will fire you out when you don't get a second. Don't get solitary shit. And when you're 52 and you're past it, with no
52-year-old woman. So that's a claim.
That's not even remotely shaded in. Yeah.
52-year-old woman.
grandchildren.
No grand.
In a house by yourself.
Clone.
Your friends have grandchildren.
All your friends have grandkids.
And this beautiful life, and you're sitting.
Which equals beautiful. Dutiful.
Do you want to explain what a claim is? Because I feel like we don't want to act as if a claim is.
A claim is a fundamental, and therefore everybody better get with it.
Real quick. No, a claim, what I want to say here is we're not making a value judgment on what he's saying. All we're saying right now is that I'm not saying that if your friends if you have grandkids you won't have a beautiful life or you will have a beautiful life. It's that because we don't know,
It's an assertion.
it's an assertion
fact.
that he's making about something, and that's why I'm calling it a claim. It's not that because I disagree with it I'm labeling it as a claim. That's what I mean.
By yourself. You think the fact that you can afford a few extra Gucci bags.
Okay, grandkids. So you're alone.
The wealth, the money won't matter.
Can you reset it? Sorry, I zoomed in.
No, you didn't.
I did. Oh, did I not? Okay. Money won't mean anything. Well, he's not saying money won't mean anything. He's saying your marginal rise in your ability to buy stuff. Would you think that will compensate for all of these things? Right? So how do we write that?
You know what I was... Okay, well, I'll say the way once we could bring it together.
ability to make slightly more money won't compensate for this
Genuinely make you feel happy.
existence, or slash which won't make you genuinely happy.
I was at my grandmother's.
So some people might be thinking, well, that last sentence you wrote, that's also a claim.
Yeah, a lot of but within narratives there's constant claims. It's that he made a very specific claim. This is a claim in the form of a question. So this is definitely a claim. Yeah, this is a claim. Yeah, that is a claim. So now he starts talking about his. So then this is his own experience. Yeah. Grandmother's. Thanks.
Oh, you do it that time. So it's just these two in and out.
How old is she?
I looked there.
90 something.
To genuinely make you feel happy. I was at my grandmother's 93rd birthday.
Okay.
I looked there. My grandmother had.
So she had 9 kids.
9 children. There was my father and 8 more. They all had a bunch of kids. Blah blah blah. I stood there and looked.
So then there's 70 people in the room.
Quick math.
Well, he said. That came from her directly.
The descendants. Well, indirectly.
She said directly.
Well, the first 9 are directly, right? The rest are indirectly.
A 93-year-old grandmother, and there was a room, a whole room full with maybe 70 people that came from that one woman. Isn't that remarkable?
No, he doesn't say directly. So and then he says, remarkable.
Nobody cared about her career.
You don't know that no one cared about her career.
Via the celebrations, her career wasn't mentioned.
Why would it be? Nobody cared about her.
Nobody asked what job she did.
I don't know if that's a claim. Thing.
Nobody asked how many times she went to the club.
Why would her children ask her that?
Yeah, I would want my grandkids to ask
on
me.
her 93rd birthday.
Grandpapa, were you getting it down? And I'd be like, yeah, I was doing this.
That took him 40 minutes to learn.
Listen, don't worry about the time invested. Worry about the result. Bottles in the club. Come give me a.
To the chub. Nobody asked how many times you went to the chub.
Nobody asked if she had had time to go to festivals. No. You had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother. And a good wife. That is beautiful. You go to festivals? No. You had 70 sentient beings, including myself, full of life from one woman who dedicated herself to being a mother.
So there's a claim that
Dedicated
she dedicated herself to being a mother.
And a good wife.
I know dedicated isn't with 2 C's. Being good mama.
I think you could use this as a scrub.
No. For what?
Okay, scrub. Good mama. Good waifu.
And a good wife. That is beautiful. And if you say.
And then another claim on the back of that.
So that's actually just a grouping, not an opposite tool.
I genuinely think that you're going to work your ass off through your virtual years, and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal.
Suicide is a suicide. Suicide
So,
is a suicide.
Then there's another claim on career.
Mm-hmm.
Working through fertile years.
Think that you're going to work your ass off through your virtual years, and by the age of 54, you're not going to be suicidal. Alone with a cat, then you're.
Yo, cats need homes too, man.
That's true.
Okay, now this is a big one again. There's lots of claims in this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because that girl did say, who, it would be cool to get this verified by someone. So straight up, don't know where that came from. Okay. Well, I guess from here. Sorry.
No, what were you looking for?
Here, this clip, no, this isn't from here. There's another claim. The happiest women on earth.
Oh, you're linking it like that. That's interesting.
Because he's talking about women that have have children and have their bills paid.
Yeah. The happiest people.
Mothers with
Have children, and a man who's paying the bills, and our mothers.
Says he.
So then,
Challenge.
what's challenge? I'm not doing that. What's the challenge mark for it? What's the mark for challenge?
Triangle. Or
That's
circle.
just an arrow.
Circle.
Or this.
Is that like not connected to?
Woman.
Oh, 2 arrows like this. Like resistance.
Woman. D. Says who? Right. So this is a claim.
Happiest people on earth. I guarantee it. Your mothers ask your own.
So then,
Ask your own parent. Ask your own mother.
not your parent, ask your own mother.
Mother, do you regret having me? She's gonna say, of course not. You're the
Claim here. She will say, of not.
thing that ever happened to me.
Best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh damn.
Just trying to help.
You're not gonna sit here and you're gonna end your own bloodline?
So this is what's this stuff?
This is a narrative trigger again now.
A new narrative? But
Yeah.
from what?
From his own fucking psyche.
Okay. So another narrative.
Oh no, selfishness, career, and so what links with here, all the way here, pursue things that make me happy. This is hedonism or hedonism, the pursuit of worldly pleasures, and he's linking that now to selfishness and is selfish because you're ending.
So should we bring it down?
For a bit of a line.
Yeah. Is that a claim? I think we need a line for narrative. Because narrative, well, I think it'll come up when two people are talking.
We don't even have the key, do we?
No, I might have a picture of the key. But the old key.
Oh. Some stuff. Creative.
Okay, so is that a claim or a narrative? Well, it's definitely a claim that you're ending your own bloodline.
If you have no siblings.
It doesn't matter. His claim is if you choose not to have children, regardless of how many other members in your family reproduce like bunnies, is that you're ending your own bloodline, which is a claim. And then he makes a lot of claims that your ancestors fought saber-toothed spiders.
So, what do you think this is? And do you think that the opposite could be conflict?
I don't know what that is. You tell me.
Okay.
Oh wait.
Stop. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. So now you're gonna sit here and you're gonna end your own.
Not having children. Ending. Bloodline.
Bloodline. All your ancestors. Out there, surrounded by saber-toothed fucking tiger.
One of these?
Trying to survive on the streets. Out there in caveman days just to get to the final end. Where we have all the medical care.
That you can't afford because you're in America.
All your ancestors fought to survive. You have,
A great life.
well, you have healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said the end, right? We've got to the end, right? That's what he means by. That's what I mean by great life. But let me not influence yours. Too.
Well, the end is the latest iteration. That's what I understood of the end. It's not. Well, it's not the end.
Well,
it's only the end if it's the end. Unless you're saying that the world ends this generation, which I don't think that's the claim he's making. What I mean is they fought to the very end of their lives, and again and again and again. We've come to this, which is the end of history, and everything that exists in the future is not the end, it's the future, if that makes sense. That's what I understood of it. I don't think he's making a claim on to say the end wouldn't make sense if he's like, what is this, a global warming sort of like wake up?
No, like we've reached like modern civilization. Like we're no longer fighting off saber-toothed tigers. We're no longer.
How is that the end? Oh, the end of
like the end of that pressure that all our ancestors had to go through of living in nature.
Doesn't he constantly threaten to kill people? How?
No, he doesn't.
He thinks that he carries guns all the time. If that, how's he not facing that pressure to survive?
Listen. Okay, that's a topic for another time.
No, but I don't think that's what he's saying based on how he lives his life. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they fought to the end of their lives.
Can we play back?
Out there in caveman days just to get to the final end, where we have all the medical care.
Where we have all the America.
Well, then it doesn't make any sense.
It's because of your woman mind. You're too logical. When he shouts, me understand.
Oh, he speaks at a frequency that I don't even hear. Okay, all right. So but I'm not going to write it down because to me it doesn't make sense, and I don't want to make a claim on his claim. Personally.
Claim on his behalf.
Yeah. Well, it's his claim as well. All your ancestors fought to survive. You have healthcare. So I guess your struggle is reduced.
For your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids. I'm too busy in the fucking strip warm house. For your fucking selfish ass.
Warm house? Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got a warm house?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We have all the medical care, and you can live in a nice warm house. For your fucking selfish ass to say, no, I don't want kids.
Okay.
Instead of a damp, cold cave.
Okay. Well, caves aren't cold. Caves are quite warm.
Still damp though.
Why would they be damp? The cave's damp.
You've never been in a cave?
I've been in a cave.
The floor's always like moist.
Even if you go deframe. You wouldn't live near the exit, would you? Would you?
You know what's crazy? We call them cavemen because of the cave drawings. And we focus on the cave drawings because that's what survives, because caves can preserve. But that doesn't mean our ancestors spent that much time in the cave.
Mm-hmm.
kind of interesting.
Survivorship bias.
Mm.
You have health care, so your struggle is reduced, and safe accommodation. Struggle is reduced. Now. Oh. Selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Club or going to fucking Mallorca.
Mallorca.
So selfish. And then he's making a claim that you're doing this so you can go to strip clubs. Which I know he's being facetious, but he does say it.
But does he mean working at a strip club or having fun at a strip club?
I don't know.
Because now, is he talking to men as well?
No.
Because how many men are the primary focus for strip clubs, not women?
I don't think he talks about men in such derogatory ways.
Damn.
But I guess that's his spiel. But I think here, it's because he's talking to women.
Well, he does talk about it. He says that you're fucking lazy, you can't do enough push-ups, stop whining. He does talk about them a lot.
Okay, I just haven't seen those clips. Maybe my algorithm is trying to trigger me.
Probably.
So I'm like, you ain't shit. Your hairline ain't shit. The shape of your head ain't shit. Do you think he's handsome? Do you think he's handsome? Because a lot of girls say he's handsome.
Listen, this is the thing I don't think you like to accept or whatever.
What?
When a man is successful, women make up fucking reasons to think that he's hot. Facts.
Sure.
Facts. And it's the same with that guy.
Okay, but people say he's objectively handsome.
They can't. They've got beer goggles on. Fame goggles on.
Alright.
Same with that guy who was... You could do for a plate of food. I pray I'll make the news. Keep going off hand picture. Touch your belly.
Oh. Not to have...
This guy. There's a girl saying, he's so fit.
Well,
I was just looking at him and I can't tell why, but I just think he's fit.
But also because he's light skinned and so is he.
You're bringing that into it.
It's definitely a factor.
Damn.
You choose not to have kids because you're too busy traveling and enjoying yourself. Yes.
Or going to fucking Mallorca to have a pina colada on the beach. It's absolutely insulting to your entire...
Insulting.
Everything everyone above you has ever done and struggled for. All the times your grandparents went to work.
Insulting to your whole bloodline.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. So you could be here.
Didn't feel like it. Just for you to exist. For your selfish ass to say no. Me and my passions and my dreams and my shit drawings and my
So this again.
age is worth more than ever having children. You're a selfish fuck. Fuck that, you should all have kids.
I'm sorry, your child.
So then, selfish. Don't do that. Don't do that. You should all have kids. I wonder, Peterson and him haven't talked yet, have they? I haven't seen anything.
No.
Okay, I wonder, the world might end if they get in a room together.
But Peterson won't agree with most of what he says.
He'll agree with a lot of what he says. He just won't agree with what he...
You know the thing about Peterson that's a bit weird is I feel like he doesn't... The vast majority of communication is tone.
Yeah.
And I feel like Peterson just doesn't address that very often. Like, he'll say something that's correct in a way that's so Szechuan. And it's like, bro, you're going to trigger so many people, like, you know, with the thing. And the way it's coming across is so... The differential between what you're saying and how it's coming across is so wide. You could minimize that, bro, by just not adding the fucking, you know, Scotch bonnet.
But I feel like, well, the tone is the Scotch bonnet.
Yeah.
I think that part of Peterson's thing is, or part of Peterson's lived reality is, he's kind of always on the back foot. He's been attacked. He's been being attacked. You know what I mean? It's like constantly, he's constantly like defensive. And so, and also because we were talking about this the other day, when you're a human being, you tend to specialize, or you know, your capacity to know about like a whole load of different things is quite limited unless you're like straight out genius, which is very rare. But even Chomsky, his ability to, like Einstein, for example, legit genius, verified IQ test and that, whatever that means. He read broadly, so he knew quite a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff, but the thing he knew the most about and what everyone was interested with him was general relativity, right? Physics. If you're going to talk to Einstein, you want to talk to him about physics. You don't want to talk to him about the war in Ukraine. Do you know what I mean? Well, in hindsight, or like World War II, or like the Palestine-Israel issue, something like that. You know what I mean? And so with Peterson, where the hell was I going with this?
Yeah, I was wondering where we...
I swear to God I started with something. Peterson says they talk to him about something, and because he's been talking about the same thing again and again and again, and constantly being questioned, it must be frustrating to constantly say the same thing again and again and again about the same thing that you've already said in the past, and then some other little kid comes in and like rewords the stuff you said to make it look worse than it, and then he's like, that's not questionable, the evidence is clear on this, and he gets really exasperated and like, so I understand part of his lived reality is that, and that's why, and I feel like there are a lot of people who are probably like that. But yeah, I mean, if you want to be effective, then you want to narrow the gap. But I also understand that it's quite difficult in the moment. Can we eat? Mama's hungry. Playing hangman. Balance. Scales.
something like that. And when he was talking about.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What was it? Money, career. Here somewhere, right here, yeah. Your ability to make slightly more money won't compensate for this existence. No grandchildren alone. Your friends have grandkids. So, yeah, lonely, no children. Jesus.
I'm really hungry.
Bro, we need to end the stream then.
No, I mean I can eat my sandwich on stream. It's just a sandwich.
Yeah. When are you gonna realize that I've not eaten today?
So that you should eat too. Get your sandwich and we can eat while we're talking. Okay, alright, so is this a visualization?
Don't forget your prawnies.
Yeah, we can eat that after.
Okay.
Oh my god. It's so tiny.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay. Alright. What I felt like you would do was the second layer, which was what he means.
Interesting.
And I was doing the what he says. You see that?
I can't see that still.
Painful.
Oh my days, look at the moth that was in my house. It's honestly like something you've never seen before in your life. And I'm not being you.
Oh my god.
Look at that wings.
Right. It's scary.
Because he would like fly towards me. And I'm like, ew.
Backwards.
Tried to lure him out with the light, but it didn't work, so I had to capture him.
Now should we do the how it comes across? Because I think the how it comes across is I think we need to address the jumps in narratives that he makes. It's purposeful, and also you have to address the fact that he's talking to women about women, and he's focusing solely on his grandmother. And so all of those things impact how it comes across. Do you know what I mean?
So you're going to do you can do how he comes across, and I can do no, this is what he means.
Yo, this tastes crazily like duck. It doesn't.
No. But maybe I'm just hungry. Hungry.
You put it here?
You want some more sauce?
Nope. Okay. I'm just gonna
Pee.
gonna pee.
So, you watch the video or go from the things you've done? The things you've done? Okay. Let me change the colour. Okay. Horse. Is that horse radish? Just radish. Is there a difference?
Just radish.
Okay. Here, what will you do with your life?
How this comes across, right? From what perspective? What is this group? As a woman?
The women that don't want to have children.
But you're not one of those women.
From the female perspective.
You're empathizing.
From the female perspective.
Just female.
I am female.
She is indeed. From female perspective.
The Western female perspective, I guess. Because that's what he's saying. Oh, it's spicy!
You write this, bro.
I can't believe you didn't notice.
What?
That was behind you.
I don't really mind it. It's certain mouth sounds that it's like that.
I thought. Why does that bother you? Because it reminds you of your dad.
It's like the moistness. Like if it's crisps, I don't mind.
Does that bother you?
I literally heard nothing.
I know, neither did I, and it was inside my mouth. Yeah. The Western female perspective. Okay.
So now, do we write it out again?
No. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take the.
We'll go to it.
Okay. Sorry. I'm going to take mine because I wrote what actually said. What was actually going on.
Claim.
Fact. And then I'm going to write in purple how that thing comes across.
How it makes you feel.
How it makes me feel, the questions that it raises in my mind. And you will tell me what he actually means is. And we'll add some like decorative.
Awesome.
Is that how I said it?
Awesome. Like
is that how I said that?
Arabic. Awesome.
But you haven't answered my question. Is that how I said it?
A little bit, yeah.
If women don't have kids, what will you do with your life? What about men? Was my first thought. Is why are you talking only to women?
So maybe, this can be extrapolated quite linearly and be like, these men that are just trying to go for careers and neglect their family, even the ones that have kids but never see them, that they too won't be happy. And I think a lot of people will agree with that.
Yeah, but is that what he's saying? Because this is how it comes across. Like, why is your lens focused on women? And that's a bit like sus. Instantly, that's the reaction I had. All right.
pursue things that make me happy. Career, life without children, vapious. Right. How that comes across is that's a pretty bold claim, bro. How many kids does he have?
No idea, actually. The thing is, it's different for men because you don't have a biological clock, so you can have kids at 50.
But if life without children is vapious, then his life should be vapious right now. Is life after a certain point vapious?
I think so, right?
Or meaningless? So then you haven't been precise with your speech.
Well, should we get see if he has kids? You're kind of right. Like he should have kids, right?
Well, he doesn't necessarily need to have kids in order to make these claims. To be fair, because he's talking about women. How old is he? Oh my god, that is in 1966.
He's 35.
Okay.
Do I have kids? If I had kids, I wouldn't say on the podcast. But if you had a daughter, say, yep. How would you feel?
Okay, so he doesn't say whether he has kids.
Be honest. Okay, and this is the thing, and I'm going to actually be completely honest here. I really try and base my worldviews on brutal realism. I try and be a realist, even if it's hard to be a realist. If that man made her happy, good. See how he cut his fucking dick off? Well, this is it. And I know,
What did you say?
That,
What was the question?
Really try. Okay, and this is the thing. If you had a daughter, say, yep. How would you feel if she came in with a man like you?
He said I cut his willy off.
Oh, the other guy.
Yeah. That's kind of a diss. It's like if you
date my daughter
or someone like you,
like
I
basically I
generally
don't like.
mutilate
you. That's wild. Okay, so alright. So how does that come across is massive bloody claim and based on what, mate?
Based on his grandmother, mate.
That's 1%, 0.000880%. Come on, bro. That's exactly, but it makes you look like an idiot when you say stuff like
But what
this.
about that girl who was like, I did the grind set and now I regret it? Remember? I did the girl boss thing.
Again, that's her experience. That no one at any point should extrapolate to everyone. There are no absolutes. But these claims are absolute claims.
You can make generalizations.
You shouldn't.
You can.
Of course you can. You can also punch any of these women in the face.
When it's 40 degrees, most people in England are going to be struggling. You can't make generalizations. You're right. Some people are going to be loving it. My mum was here. She'd be like, woo, woo. My dad will be like, I cannot sleep. I don't like it. He doesn't talk like that at all.
That was Davide.
So you can still make that generalization.
Well, he said most people. He's saying that life is
Vacuous
meaningless without children. Not for a lot of people, children. So this is what I prefer about the way Peterson talks, is that he's clear about the fact that he's not talking about everyone. He's talking about the majority of people. His claim is absolute. Life without children is meaningless.
Absolute.
What if you can't bloody have children? Is your life meaningless? And what does that mean? Nihilism? Should I off myself, mate? Like what? A lot of people can't have kids. Like what are you saying? At no point, and he's talking about, are you talking about biological children? Are you talking about someone that you raise? What if you're very close to your sister and she's got a child? Or your brother and he's got a child? You know what I mean?
So what are you saying about this then?
So my first thing was based on what? I also thought, what if you can't have kids? Are you including men in this?
Mm-hmm. Kind of
And
links back to the first one.
at what point does it become meaningless?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's just the first gut iteration.
Mm-hmm. Jobs
Right.
will fire you whenever you want. Your common state was like, damn right, comrade.
Well, again, if that's a very cynical take about it, that's true for a lot of jobs. But like you said, the reason she might have said doctor is because that's not really true for doctors.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shortage of doctors. We really need them. Absolute necessary work, and so they won't fire you whenever they want. That is a very left wing take for such a right wing person.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean?
You're boring off in the seat. But I think what he
So
is
if you want to
about-
write something,
he's
then
talking about the public
pick a color, and write your answer, mate.
So
Can I write? Can I write the left wing commie take for a pretty right wing guy. Oh no, and then also can you
Yui.
pick a darker blue, please? Thanks, pal. Do you think it's hit 38 yet?
Mm-hmm.
It's 1:40, so it's probably past. Yeah, it's 37 right now.
Ooh.
38. It's 38 at 2. We can go outside for 38. He's talking about private jobs. Oh, I literally thought you said private jets. And I was like, and then I saw it and I was like, private jobs.
Yeah.
What do you mean private jobs?
Private sector jobs.
Okay. Like corporations. Jobs in corporations.
Pretty much also, here's the kind of thing, you get paid less when you're in the public sector,
But there's
but
stability.
there's more job security. And when you're in the private sector, you get paid, typically it's around 7 to 9% more.
Can you write private sector? Because I don't know what private jobs is.
Listen, okay. I'm talking about OnlyFans.
That's not a private sector.
No, it's a private job.
Priv. Sec. Okay. Okay. Alright. What about all the other comments I've written? Do you want to say what he means? So here, you could make the argument that the reason that he's talking about
No, I want you
women.
to. I want you to go. Keep going. And
All
then
the
I'll
way.
do my pass.
Okay. Okay. That's
I wish you were wearing your Italy t-shirt.
Italia. The new one.
It's a nicer blue. What's that? No, it's just bright.
That's not very fair. This shirt was a present. And it's strap on, not strap on. Snap on too. Don't look at
I can't look at you anymore.
literally never look at me again.
Wear the
That was
niqab.
always the plan. Can you wear the niqab, mate? Cover your fucking knees.
The reason I'm not is because of your. Never mind.
Cover your hijab.
Because of my shorts.
They're your shorts now.
It's that kid scoop.
Past it.
Come on, that must have felt. Yeah, that must have hit you in the ovaries, bro.
Because I was like, by what measure, mate? Like, what do you mean past it? Do you, again, a lot of these claims that he's making is very nihilistic. It's like, you get to a certain point, you can't have kids. You shouldn't be on this planet anymore. 'Cause you're just a waste of space. If that's the narrative that you're putting out there, it's pretty dangerous if someone hears that, because you're encouraging people. Like, what's the logical conclusion if you're past it? There's no meaning to your life. What's the logical next conclusion? Peterson talks about this all the time, about people choosing not to have kids, right? And what the conclusion there would be about there's no meaning to life. There's definitely no meaning to your life. What should you do? What's the logical conclusion? And if human beings are a burden to this planet, which is what Peterson says.
Onto that and say, on the live question mark.
Yeah, literally.
Because I think that's a bit extreme. You know, the natural conclusion is to fight against your entire billions of years of life force and end yourself. I think it's more like you're just going to continue to exist, like most people with depression. Your life is not going to be optimal.
Well, he claimed that they were unalivable.
When they have the one cat.
When they're stroking their cat while reaching for their knife. Yeah.
Imagine doing it with a knife.
So even that's a conclusion he came to. He thinks that you would be, and he's saying you should be.
You did. No, you pulled it in nicely. Keep going.
Okay.
Women unite.
All right. Okay. So you're a 52-year-old woman with no grandchildren, you're alone. Okay. Again, this is an assumption.
What is it about male needs that is just so
to get you going? So that's an assumption that he's making, that just because you don't have kids or grandkids, you're going to be alone. Or if you're talking about this particular narrative, let's continue. But that's what it comes across to me. So again, so if you have children but no grandchildren, then your life is meaningless. Like, at what point is there meaning? Because he switches between children and grandchildren, but they're two different things. If you have grandchildren that live in another country, is your life meaningless? Or is it only not meaningless when they come to visit you? What if your partner passes?
Go on.
Oh, the spraying water balloon things. I was going to say school must have given them a day off. There are a lot of caveats. And I feel like this is what I like about Peterson, at least sometimes. He's quite specific in what he says. And here, this man's just throwing around. See, if this is just this particular narrative, but it raises a lot of questions for, are you talking about kids or grandkids? And at what age do you need to have what if you pass before you have grandkids? Was your life meaningless? What if you don't have access to your grandchildren? For whatever reason, you live in one country, they live in another. Is your life meaningless? What if you live in like a care home? Is your life meaningless? I don't understand that.
Continue.
All your friends have grandkids. Okay. This is a beautiful life. I mean, I'm sure I do believe that, like, my mother's really happy, but other people won't be. Other people really love traveling. They genuinely want to spend their life with their partner and just their partner. And other people want to spend their lives alone and learn about different cultures and travel and meet people. And that's what makes their life beautiful. I'm sure this life is beautiful for a lot of people, but I'm sure for a lot of women, this life must, because when the thing he says about ancestors, right? You're like betraying your ancestors, but I guess we'll get to that. Your ability to make slightly more money won't compensate for this existence. that I would say, from my perspective, that's probably true if you assume that all these things are true.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold those things as constant, sure, that's true. But if not everyone is money motivated, like I'm not, and sometimes I forget that some people genuinely are, and it's not because of a social construct,
Mm-hmm.
or it's a social construct that's so embedded in them that it's irreversible at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
And so for those people, it might genuinely be true that being able to buy Gucci bags is more important than having grandkids. I would argue for a small subset of people, but yeah. Okay, so sure. Then there's a story. Grandmother's 90 again. All right. It's this again. The focus on women, because those kids came from a father too. It wasn't just the grandmother didn't ride solo for those kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh crap! Oh, this was the one. This was the one that caused. Okay. Nobody asked her about her career. Why is that relevant on her birthday? Nobody asked how many times she went to the well. She probably never went to the club. She's 93. That's just, he's just being facetious.
Yeah, he's
I'm
joking.
saying. So facetious means to be inappropriately humorous. But he's doing it to piss those girls off. He's also doing it to drill home his point. But he is trying to be funny. Or humorous, I guess, if you want to say that it's not. 70 people in that room came from her. Okay. That's remarkable. Okay. That is remarkable. It is remarkable that a woman has the capacity, but also men.
So much life.
But that she birthed 9 people in her body who then went on to birth.
Quick math.
60 people. Sorry, there's dry skin on my nose.
But not necessarily. Oh, yeah.
Well, no, because they probably had their partners and stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
well, I don't know if he's making a claim about 70 people coming from
her.
Or it's 70 people in that room. But he did say 70 sentient beings that came from her.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there are 140 people and everyone's there with their partners and stuff. Okay. Dedicated herself to being a good mother and a good wife. Well, just because she had 9 kids, that doesn't necessarily mean she was a good mother. She was just a mother. Like, by what measure are we measuring good mother? You know what I mean?
Like, kid amount equals...
Good mother. Had 9 kids. Doesn't... Like, she might have been a great mother, and that's excellent. But that doesn't necessarily translate. But she's saying that the reason that those people existed is because she dedicated herself. Well, no, you could equally be a bad mother and still give rise to like hundreds of sentient beings. She had 9 kids doesn't make her a good mum or a good wife. Again, same applies here. Right? And if she was a good mother and a good wife, I do agree. That is beautiful. I would say it is beautiful. I wouldn't contest that. The happiest women on earth are mothers with their bills paid. Bro, literally, that woman says who. What are you basing this on? Like, we could check. Do you want to check?
How do we check?
True.
Like, how do we
check?
Like, happiness
data on this. Yeah,
our
mothers Yeah, let's see. Are mothers happier? Let's test the first thing. I'm not sure if we can test the second
Oh my
part.
days.
They're listening.
Washington, APA.org. Mothers with jobs tend to be healthier and happier than mums who stay at home during their children's infancy and preschool years, according to a new study published by the American Psychological Association. This was 2012. So the American Sociological Association is saying Capine.
So this is from the ifstudies.org, and this says one finding is consistent in all analyses. Older parents with minor children still at home are less happy than their empty nest contemporaries by about 5 or 6 percentage points. Both men and women report less personal happiness and less happy marriages when there are minor children around the house. Well, it can be quite stressful.
It's stressful.
Yeah. But what is this? So the article is titled, Does Having Children Make People Happy in the Long Run? This was the first one on Google.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, I'm just trying to... So apparently nowhere is the parental happiness gap larger than in the United States. Indeed, American parents are notably less happy than are their Anglophone relatives in England and Australia. In some countries, most notably Norway and Hungary, parents are actually happier than non-parents. So it seems that in Norway, so the fact that they've singled it out, Norway and Hungary, parents being happier than non-parents, it seems like the overall it's that non-parents are happier than parents.
Because they're outliers.
Yeah. Because in some countries, as if to say the norm is for parents to be less happier. But you can imagine parents reporting lower levels of, but it's not happiness that. So I would say that if I were you, I'd be like, what he's not actually talking about happiness. He's talking about what
Like
brings your life
fulfilled.
meaning.
Yeah.
Because you don't. The purpose of life isn't to become happy. It's to have a meaningful existence. And children bring meaning. They might make you really stressed, and so, you would report lower levels of happiness, but again, that's cap. So he's. But then again, he did say women, mothers, and that was more like I would bet. Mothers with their bills paid, there's no way we're going to be able to find any data on that.
Well, that's basically stay-at-home mum, right?
Then
a working mum.
Or a non-mother. Because you'd have to, there's many control groups for that. Because, yeah, stay-at-home mums might be happier than working
No, they're
mothers.
not, according to American Healthcare
Oh,
Psychological
bloody hell.
Association.
Okay.
Well, that's
What about
2012.
non-mothers? I mean, yeah, but happiness is the wrong thing to look at. Huh? From the 25th of May 2019, women are happier without children or a spouse. Unmarried and childless women are the happiest subgroup in the population.
I've heard that before as well.
And they are more likely to live longer than their married and child-rearing peers. So Paul Dolan, a professor of behavioural sciences at the London School of Economics, said the latest evidence showed that traditional markers used to measure success did not correlate with happiness, particularly marriage and raising children. We do have some good longitudinal data following the same people over time, but I am going to do a massive disservice to the science and just say, if you're a man, you should probably get married. If you're a woman, don't bother. I wonder why that is. Oh, okay. Men benefited from marriage because they calmed down, he said. You take less risks, you earn more money at work, and you live a little longer. She, on the other hand, has to put up with that and die sooner than if she never married. The healthiest and happiest. Okay.
So I've got 10 reasons here for why people want children, why they don't want children.
Mm-hmm.
Reasons to have children. They want to create a family, to
Yep.
carry on the family name, so don't extinct your bloodline. You love babies and small children, human biology.
They grow, you know. Kids aren't only for Christmas.
To give and just keep having a new one every time you turn 7. To give and receive unconditional love. To give your children the chance to enjoy existence. To give meaning to their life. To create and mold a life. To fix the mistakes of their parents. Social pressures and expectations. And reasons not to have children. Environmental impact. Economic impact. Stress levels. Unhappiness. Sleep. Poor eating and lifestyle habits.
Sorry.
Overpopulation. Logistics. Passing down physical and mental health issues. Marital issues.
Yeah. I can imagine that being true.
So it's very interesting because I searched correlation between feelings of purpose and having kids. And all the top results were about happiness.
Yeah, because they can't really measure meaning.
You can what purpose and like do you feel like
Well,
you have
can
a
ask
purpose in
people,
life?
yeah. But I think they use other things as proxy
Like
for happiness.
income and like
Yeah.
medication and
Yeah.
weight and
When
stuff
you
like
die
that.
and
BMI
depression and stuff like that, whereas doesn't
addiction.
seem to be backed by data. See, when I think this could be true is in certain countries where you have to get married to a person without your choice, like an arranged marriage or a forced marriage, and you feel like you're in a situation that's completely
out of your control.
Out of your control. Once you have a child, I can imagine, well, it could go one of two ways. The first way is you have something that's yours, something that you can bond with, that's like that can bring meaning to your life, and you can hone in on that and get happiness from that. The alternative is that you understand the reality that you've probably passed down to your child as well, and so that can be quite depressive. I would imagine, like a lot of, like, I think, remember when my mom said that when she had Sai and my grandmother was pacing up and down, I think part of why she was disappointed is because she knows what it's like to be a woman in Pakistan, especially back in the day, but still today. And so it's kind of like, you've had a daughter, you've done this to yourself and your daughter, you know. And so I think it could go one of two ways, but I can imagine why, if you're completely alone and unhappy, a child would bring you massive amounts of happiness when you're so unhappy otherwise. Okay, ask your own mothers. See, that, it's like asking a woman who was forced to and
have
then
a child.
Exactly, and be like, do you regret being, and she was like, yes, but she'd say, because it's
this
like,
is a good thing, not
yeah,
a bad thing.
again in Gilmore Girls, remember I told you the mother-daughter show,
And where she's like gets stressed with all the books and she can't read the books.
no, so another bit about it, she goes to,
no, but that's the right show, right?
Yeah. She goes to high school, like the mother goes to high school to they ask for like people from businesses locally, right? It's a really small town, so they ask her, she runs an inn, and they ask her to come, and because her daughter used to go to that school, all they're interested in talking to her about is having a child. They're not interested in what do you do daily, what's working life like. They're interested in, oh, you're Rory's mom, right? You had her when you were 16. That's how old we are now. And so they start asking her, do you regret it? And all the other parents there are like, because she says, of course I don't regret it, but I wouldn't recommend it to you guys. Obviously, that's what she's going to say, because she's not going to say she regrets having her own daughter to all of her daughter's friends, right? And so it's kind of like that. That's a very emotionally abusive question to ask your parents. Do you regret having me? The only time that they're going to say yes
is if they're actually a piece of, or they're really,
really angry. Exactly. In that moment, they might say something that they don't mean, or they might tell you the truth, and they might truly regret having you. You know.
There's a lot of people who are like that, you know. Like on Reddit where you have like anonymous forums.
Yeah.
And they're like, I actually wish, like, this kid is such a piece of work. I wish I didn't have it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so miserable now.
I can imagine some kids are actually horrible.
Romantic relationship is like ruined now.
Exactly. I can imagine it massively affecting people's marriages. Definitely people's marriages. So yeah. So you get. I feel like this is an emotionally abusive question. You won't get a honest answer. Well, you might. You likely. Well, let's say put it this way. If the answer is yes, they're not going to tell you. Likely they won't tell you. And why do you ask your dad that question? Why is it your mom?
Because your mum has that like emotional bond with you, right? She was the one that carried you for 9 months, whereas your dad just nodded.
She was the best thing that ever happened to me. Well, I don't think that she'll necessarily say it was the best thing. What if you have siblings? And you're going to be like, well, Sikandar was the best thing that happened to me, and you were the third best thing that happened to me. And just because she says it doesn't make it true.
Because it's your child.
Yeah. And then what if he does say yes? What are you supposed to do with that information then? Not have kids? Does that confirm that you shouldn't have kids? Do you know what I mean? Because he's saying that this is true because this is true, and then this is true. But what if this isn't true? But should you ignore her?
I mean, this is getting very deep, right? Like, if you have trauma, like deep trauma, like really messed up stuff happening in your family, and that's psychological, but you also have like addictive personality, you also have maybe some kind of condition that's passed down. Should you morally have a child, right? That's like a question that people ask. And there was a show about a man who had dwarfism, and then one of his kids didn't have dwarfism, and one of his kids did, and they were kind of like asking him about that kind of thing. So it's a very deep question. Like, if you have a lot of trauma in your family,
or if you have hereditary conditions in your family, or hereditary
conditions, what then?
Yeah.
You know, it's not a thing that you can just shout away and
exactly
be right or
and
wrong.
hope for the best just because it might be the right decision for other people. What if you can't afford to have a child? What if having a child will mean that you don't have enough to eat. That's people's realities. And their children. Like, you could say that it's irresponsible to have children that you can't afford to have. You know, and I'm not talking about abortions and stuff. I'm talking about just the act of conceiving. Is that irresponsible if you can't afford to keep that child alive, and then that child unalives at 1 year old from malnutrition, or because you couldn't get them medicine?
Exactly. It's a very very sticky one.
It is, because it's not such a. I think the thing I was thinking a lot
Because
of
it's
the
passion,
time.
it makes it feel like
Go
it's
up,
clear.
go up for a second.
It makes it feel like it's clear cut.
Working through your fertile years will make you. All right, and you will.
Oh, is you being cheeky?
Well, he did say that, but he was being facetious, and I was being facetious. Working through your fertile years will make you. Okay.
Right,
Well,
because I think that is one of the key differences between men and women, is the biological clock. A man has way more time. Now, you don't want to be too old because then you can't really play with your kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But you can afford, let's say, if we just accept the premise that doing these things for hedonistic reasons is just purely selfish, men can do that for 10 to 20 years.
Sure, assuming you want a much
no...
younger wife then. Because you can't get a wife your own age at that point, because apparently
like you can be 50 and she can be 40. You know, is that much younger? Like, technically, yes, because 10 years is a lot, but like percentage-wise.
Well, yeah, but then women's biological clock. At what point does it? At what point? Well, she had to be a 40-year-old who can still have kids. That's not true for another 40-year-old. People are becoming infertile much quicker, and men's sperm counts are going down. Just diets and radiations and stuff like that. But it's affecting men as well, massively.
Yeah, sperm counts like halved.
Yeah, and it's gonna be down like 70 to 90% by 2050, which is mad.
You can see why the conspiracy theorists think it's intentional. They think it's population control through our foods. That's why everything's in plastic wrappers.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Working through your fertile years will make you really sad. That's probably true for some women. I would agree that, especially if you only realized that your job was meaningless, and you focused all your. So you know the earth-shattering moment I had at work. If you have that at 40 or 50, and you're like, you snap out of like whatever path you were on. Sure, that would definitely be true, and really depressive, because you're like, I spent my whole. That's when the reason why people are so reluctant to let things in that challenge their entire worldview is because having your whole worldview shattered is
one of the most destabilizing things that
completely. You could completely shut down and never be able to come out of that. And so, yeah, that could be true for some people. A lot of people, however, spend their whole lives up until whenever before realizing that, or spend their whole lives in the rat race, quietly unhappy. But I don't think it's that they'll get to 52 and they'll be like, oh no, I never had kids. You know, I think you're gonna have known. Peterson said it hits around 30 for most women.
So you agree or you disagree? Or?
Well, Peterson's claim is that his claim is broadly, I've heard, based on research. But I have a theory about that as well, and you can tell me what you think. My theory about that is the corporate life is completely ignores of the human experience. The search for meaning, the need to be important
in your community.
Exactly. Men don't have the opportunity as much as women to jump out and be like, I want to be a mother now. I want to be a wife. And because women see the opportunity, they're more likely to take it. That's my take.
And you don't. I think that's a strong That's a strong take, mate. That's a strong Andrew take.
Andrew Tate. Don't put that out there. They're gonna start using that in the comment section. Okay. All right. So yeah, this is somewhat true. But I don't think they'll be considering unaliving themselves. I think they'll just be sad.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be sad, but a lot of people who realize that their working jobs they don't like, even if they have children, are going to be quite sad.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Like if your job sucks, your job sucks.
And that's where you spend most of your time.
Yeah, that's pretty much your life, right?
Exactly.
That's the point.
All right. So not having kids equals ending your bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But this is true for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the jump to selfish is kind of wild to me. Because from my perspective, having a child just to perpetuate your bloodline, now that's selfish. Because you're just talking about the act of birthing the child. What about taking care of that child? Raising them to be a good person.
Well, that's
raising
what he's
them to have a
here,
good...
right? That's what. So I think blue. I think I need to blue it here.
Okay. Just some water. We need to stay hydrated.
Yes, please. So a good mother does more than just birth a child.
Yeah. But that's also true for a good father.
Well, he would argue a good father provides financial security, protection, and like harsh reality. Whereas the mother is there just to provide love
What
and
in
support.
God's name is that?
Probably the reason my sperm count halving.
You need to start having kids earlier, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Girls need to start having kids at 12, and men at 22.
Because women mature faster than men.
Exactly. Is the natural conclusion we come to. Okay, all your ancestors fought to survive. Yeah, that's true. Your ancestors did fight to survive. You have healthcare and safe accommodation, so you're struggling with this. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so the selfish bit. So yeah, I'm gonna write that. Selfish.
Selfish who?
To have like, why do you need to perpetuate your bloodline?
Because your ancestors tried so hard, and just to throw it away does
But
seem like a waste.
did they try like again? So your ancestors fought to survive, so that they could survive. Did your ancestors consciously survive, so that you could survive and perpetuate the bloodline? Is that the claim? Because I'm not sure if I agree with that. I think people want to survive so that they can exist, and possibly their children. But your ancestors to you, they don't care. because you're related to everyone.
So
One of the most potent meanings
meanings
to
to
life
life.
is to leave the world better than you found it for your kids and kids' kids. Alright, that's a claim.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. But that's got nothing to do with this.
Yeah, like you're saying it's selfish.
It's selfish
But,
if
like-
you just have a child to perpetuate your bloodline. You're saying one of the most potent meanings to life is to leave the world better than you found it for your kids and your kids' kids. How do you do that? By having lots of kids.
By having kids.
Why? Having one child, sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, technically you need two.
you don't need to, because your kids aren't fucking each other.
Jesus, bro. You need two because you have a man and a woman. If you have one kid, then that's one less child. It's one less being. Right, you have a man and a woman, you have one child, that's
Yeah.
one less. So you need at least two.
Yeah, but other people are having like 500, and that's the reality of the planet.
No.
What are
The
you
more
talking about?
people go into the middle class, the fewer kids they have.
So why do you need to have two?
Because that perpetuates. Technically, you need about 2.2 to maintain a culture. Because kids die, some kids don't want to have kids. So you need about 2.2 to maintain a culture.
But if the world is okay, so climate change, right?
Mhm.
You encouraging people to have kids and lots of kids, I would say,
But
is
what do you mean by
problematic.
so by lots of kids? You're pulling that from the fact that his grandmother had 9, right?
No, he says you should all have kids,
Right.
which is more than one.
2.
But in order to perpetuate your bloodline, it's not about there needs to be. He hasn't made any claim about
He's
that.
not made
He's
claim
talking about
there
bloodline.
being a trillion either. Like,
But he said bloodline. It takes one child that you and your wife have together for you to perpetuate your bloodline. Stop. That's all it takes. That's all
not
it
his own
takes.
argument. That's not his only argument. Then.
That's his argument here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the reason to have more than just one would
Is
be all
what?
the other stuff.
What's the other stuff?
It makes you happy.
Why would more than one make you happy?
Because if 1 makes you happy, 2 makes you happy.
So then 10 should make you even happier than 2. And then 40 should make you happier than...
Diminishing
And 1,000
returns.
could... Again, you've pulled these random things up.
I know what he means.
You don't know what he means because you don't agree with what he says.
As a take type.
As an Andrew Taker. Yeah, no, I feel like
Yeah, no.
that. Okay, first of all, that wasn't a comment about my comment. You take your claim off my line. Not my claim.
No.
my god, just used the rubber.
That's what she said.
Yeah, stop making those noises. Just used the rubber.
Is it 38 yet?
It's past 2. Yeah, let's go outside. It's 38 degrees!
But it says highs of 20 and 39.
At some point, it must have hit 39. Come on, let's go outside and see what's popping. Brand new whip just popped.
The only 39s I hit.
I'm going outside. Can we pause this?
No, absolutely not. We're so close.
Please. Oh my god, if we're going to miss it. Okay, just for a second. We're going to go outside for a second.
We've got the mic on. What are you doing?
Exactly. So we're going to go outside. And in a bit. Oh my god. You're lucky my fingers weren't like this. Not often my fingers. Yo!
We should probably
We
probably should reapply it.
I'll have my back to the sun. Oh my god, the ground.
It's hot, huh?
Bruh, you don't even have socks on.
I may need some of that.
That's enough for 3 days of work. Take off. You've got it all over your shirt. Oh god, now it's all cream. Bio, yeah, you're gonna have to. Sorry, you've got legs.
Yeah, thank you.
As compared to me, I don't have legs.
You mean you got legs for days?
You got legs for days. But only Monday and Sunday. Oh no. Oh god. More.
Bruh.
You have too much. You can put more on your legs. Look, half your legs don't have anything on it. I want to see white hair. Look like this. This is what you should look like.
Silva.
Thiago Silva.
Anderson.
Oh my god. Have you ever felt 38 degrees in this country before? Do you even know what 38 degrees feels like?
I know what 42 degrees feels like.
Got a bit of sunscreen, mate. I ran out. This is why women live short lives than men.
That's not true. Oh, with men.
This is the tape claim. Come on, let's do coordinated. And then what did you do?
Oh, yo, it's so, bro.
No, stay here. Come on.
My feet.
Come on, put on slippers or socks or something. Do you want me to take my shirt socks off too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why will it lessen your pain?
Because then you know. Commonality is unity.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Okay, stay. Hot rocks. Meditate. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, oi, oi. Stop. Why are you not freaking out? Oh my god. Bio. My feet are on fire. Bio. Bio. Oh my god. Yo, my feet have swollen up so much. Just being outside. How do you do it? How do you do it? Show me. That looks so cool. You do it really well. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, go outside. If anyone is listening, anywhere, go outside, take your socks off, take your shoes off first, obviously. And stand on a bit of slate. Oh. I think my heels.
The wind comes in, it's like warmer than that.
How long do you think you can stand? Do you think we're burning our feet?
Well, the thing is, the internal temperature of our bodies is what, 30 something?
37.5.
So technically, it's doable.
But not the external. Not the temperature of our skin. Apparently, the surface temperature is 25, which means you're warming it up by 13 degrees. Hoi! Hoi! Oh my god. Oh my god. Look how fat my foot looks.
Whoa.
Look how it's fucking.
Is it swelling?
Fat foot. Yeah. It's burning. Oh my god.
You've not put any factor on it.
I haven't. Sorry.
Neither have I.
Feet. I'd never put it on. Here.
Right?
That's why I've got some.
Weird, isn't it? I'm like, for some reason I thought my feet weren't deserving of it or not needed.
Let's try.
Yo. What?
Don't get delirious.
Imagine we went on that walk in this.
That would be amazing. It's like hot yoga. You could do hot yoga today.
Different areas.
What if we sit down? What do our butts feel like?
Your perfect white pants.
No, don't get anything because I want to feel the tile against my butt.
Put your pants off down there.
Don't
Turn
pay
around.
it for me.
Turn around.
Oh fuck it, my knees, bro, from yesterday hurt so much. They're covered in bruises.
From
One's
that
got
one
2 bumps.
upfall.
No.
How's it feel?
Sit down. Skin on skin though. Put that down.
Oh, it's really not that bad.
Nice. What about my back?
It's interesting that the feet were so intense.
But your feet and your hands. So put your hands down. They'll burn too. So you know if you're putting on a hot bath, your hands and your feet are way more sensitive to temperature differences. But because I think that's where temperatures, how your body regulates temperature through your hands. Put your ear on this.
You can
Oh my god.
You can almost cook an egg on this.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this is actually beautiful. Can we sleep here? This is actually ridiculous.
Just a little sunbathe nap.
Are we powering up right now from the sun's radiation?
It's either that or we collapse when we go inside. Either
What
way.
is this? This reaction is called. This is
photovoltaic.
2 hydrogen atoms reacting to form helium, and this is that's what I know about black holes.
What?
So yeah, so black holes are formed by
Collapsing stars.
But why?
Because the outward force of the atomic reactions is weaker than the
when does that
gravitational
happen?
pull.
When does that happen?
I don't know. Oh, when there's too much iron in the core.
When it starts producing iron, because when iron, at some point it overwhelms it. When it produces iron, there's no release of energy. And so there's no outward push.
All stars lead to iron.
Yeah. And all iron leads to black holes.
Not quite.
50% of iron leads to black holes.
Claim.
Oh my god. I really shouldn't be here. My mind's telling me no. But my body. We need bikinis right now. We should be tanning. Imagine you in a bikini. That would be funny. I'm picturing it right now. You look like Godzilla. You can take your shirt off and tan if you want.
Really?
Wow. Wow.
Oh no, but my back on this raw, I think it'd be too hot.
Try it? I'm gonna try it. Oh!
Right, you're right.
Try it! Try it just for a second. Just lift it up. You don't have to take it all off. Okay, you're gonna take it all off. Fucking hell.
It's kind of gets better though.
Yeah.
Yeah, really brown for my birthday, bro.
Nice. Browning. Birthday brown. Oh my god, I really shouldn't be here in my face. But it feels so good in my face. Did you just say that's what she said?
Bro, you're on mic.
Is that what you just said?
Kate would have said something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't say that. How does it feel? How does it feel?
Intensely warm on my bed. Yo, I swear my dad has showers like twice as hot as this as well.
Oh yeah, I've showers hotter than this. I have baths hotter than this. Sometimes my baths are so hot that I can't put my feet in. Like, you know how we can't put our feet on this for too long. I have to take my my feet out of the bath.
Wow.
I can't put my hands in. That's why testing water, you have to. You know how they say put your elbow in because your hands are way too sensitive.
Like even the wind is warmer than the average temperature in summer.
Yeah, but it would be.
Was that bread?
Oh, I looked up. So I could see the bath. I have. Is it too hot for you? It's not. I've got my back on it. It's not too hot.
It was at the top.
Oh, okay.
Can you feel that?
Okay. Oh my god. That's probably because that's got the most forced contact. Because your lower back is more sensitive, I find. Like whenever I'm going into a bath and my lower back hits, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh my god. If you force your lower back against it, well, thank you. Can I have your shirt? Oh, imagine the poor animals walking around right now.
Mate, imagine how sad those donkeys look right now.
Oh, poor babies. Yeah, Toffee was going crazy, man. Toffee's inside the house making noises like. Yeah, I swear to God. Because she doesn't know what's going on. It's like we get warnings and shit. They don't.
She's like, what the hell?
Yeah, like who turned the oven on?
And she can't go in the water because she doesn't like it.
Exactly.
Messes with her fur and that.
Mhm.
There's this one like volcano mole, and they stay in like volcanic ash,
Yeah.
and their fur is so thick that if you wash them,
Wait,
they'll die.
I wanna see what it feels like on my butt. Don't look at me. That feels so good.
It reminds you of bath time, but just
Better.
the organic version.
Yep. It's sad because it feels so good on my face.
You're worried.
Well, I'm not worried now because it's reflecting it. White basically doesn't absorb anything.
Isn't that bad?
No, because if you're wearing black, it absorbs all the light, but with white, it reflects it.
So it gets warmer, but doesn't it mean that you get less radiation? Because the radiation that goes through it gets absorbed by the light.
Well, it's bad to wear black in the summer because it absorbs the heat and the light.
When I first heard that, I literally thought my parents were lying.
When was that?
Probably, yeah, primary school. Like, how can the colour of a car affect how warm it gets? Like,
You know what I thought was wild? When you've got everything's made up of atoms, right? And atoms don't have color. Where does color come from? That was wild to me when I first had that realization. Yeah. What do you mean? It's about how they absorb and reflect certain the colors and the light. Yeah, in light. It's whether they reflect or absorb light. Genuinely, turn off the stream, mate. I'm staying here all day. I wish I could take off my pants. But we've eaten. And we're gonna have thingy as well. The prawns. Fancy tofu? Where the fuck did you get fancy tofu from? Okay. Are you that hungry though? I'm not. In the summer, I don't get hungry really. Weetabix with a banana.
Alright, mate. Give me your.
The shirt. Oh, go it.
Alright, guys. I want to create a video today. I think the first video is going to be. The first video is going to be. The first video is going to be mapping, then the second video is layering, and then layering again, and then certain topics are claims, so certain statements are claims, and we'll have a research in the background of just websites, and we use the green screen for that. And then other things lead to massive topics, like if you have ailments, should you have a child? It's very difficult to say what the answer should be in even 30 seconds for that. So having a comment that Tate says that is adjacent to such a topic of great controversy and intricacy, I think is quite interesting. So yeah, guys, thanks Sekanda for watching, and enjoy the sun.